Welcome back and happy Saturday to you. I'm going to start this show with a trivia question. It's not really about art. It's about recreation. And the question is, how long could a bud stay in a plastic Ziploc? Like, I know that's a dumb question because, you buy it, you just smoke it up right away. But for somebody who tucked a bud away like months and months and months later, maybe almost a year, is the bud still good? Is it less potent? Is it stronger? Is it safe? So that's the question of the day. And I'm not going to say why. I'm just asking for a friend. Anyways, I'm going to put my cam on now and show you what we got here. The last video I did, I used paint medium, pearlescent by Sargent Art. It's acrylic pearlescent mixing medium. And I mixed all different color pigments with it. Pigments for resin. This is for eyeshadow, nail art, whatever, and painting. So, I produced a pearlescent look here, which you can see how bright it shimmers. I mean, if that ain't enough to hurt your eyes. But the problem was, I don't think I had it mixed thoroughly because I've got some high spots. I've got bumps in here, and let me point those out. Let me just get a pointer stick for the glass. I've got some rough, like a really rough ridge wherever the paint was thicker, because it was a very thick consistency. I have ridges with bumps, like all along this edge. There's a few throughout here. And I had some right here this morning. So I just did a little bit experiment with some sandpaper. And I've got 120 grit. It's kind of rough. And, because, we're dealing with a thick vinyl here, and I just wanted to grind it down real quick. And my intent is to paint over it to fix this problem. And, I wasn't really quite happy with the way it was looking in the wings of the dragonflies. So we're going to do a little rework. And I was wondering if this would work to just sand it off and paint over. I painted a little bit of little spot right here, and it works just fine. I think we'll be able to save this painting after all. So if you want to grab a cup of coffee, your favorite beverage, maybe a glass of wine, and follow along with me on this journey, hopefully you will gain something from my mistakes. And that's my intent. This is all an experiment. And when I was making this, I says there's no right way, there's no wrong way. But there are things that happen that go bad. Sometimes you just got to go back and do a little rework. I'm going to try and get this done today as soon as I can. We're planning to fire up that spin table today where we make our spin art. I haven't ran it yet this year. And I thought, well, geez, it's getting a little dusty here. I think it's time to fire it up. and we're going to be doing a video this afternoon on that. I don't know when I'll get that one uploaded, but that will mainly be an upload. I don't think I'll do it live. So, having said that, let's get going. And I'm just going to play some relaxing music, some beat music, and get into it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. So I'm just going to take this sandpaper and sand down the bad spots. First of all, try and get camera here so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see the bumps and ridges all along here. I've got some through here, and I've also got some over here on this one too. You can see they look like little white spots right there. Quite a few of them in through this area, actually. You can see if I tilt them in the light. Okay, so let's get started. I don't want to sand on the background because I will not be able to replace that. The only thing I can replace is this brush painting on top of here. So I'm trying to stay in the camera here. I've got my webcam kind of far away from me. Periodically, I'll have to mute my mic and talk with people that I have here in the room with me. So don't be surprised if that happens. So this medium, this paint medium and pigments I used was an experiment. I wanted to see how it would look, and I'm not happy with it. It's not what I wanted to see. So I'm going to try and sand down some of the bad spots here, the bumps, blemishes. Either the pigments were not mixed in the medium all the way, or there were bubbles. But whatever the case, doesn't matter. We're going to sand them down and paint over this. Straighten things out with the world. Because, there's some areas in here that I'd like to go over. I might even put a little bit of black in here. I'll be using some other colors today. And I'm not going to use the brush. I found a better way to apply the pigments. Something that's a little bit less practical, but I think I'd really like the look that it produces. And I'm going to try and get some dimension in here with the dragonflies. I'm going to try and make them pop out a little bit using either epoxy, UV epoxy, or diamond glaze. I've been experimenting a lot with diamond glaze on some of the paintings, and the effects when you put your resin on top of these for a finish coat, with the diamond glaze dimension underneath it with the right pigments, just looks phenomenal. So I know that works. I'm just going to brush some of the dust off here, and see, I need to sand a little bit more there. I could probably even go with a little bit rougher sandpaper and then go on top of that with a finer grain, but finer grit. And but I'll just take my time and whittle away at this. If I don't speak at times, it's because I'm just concentrating. So I hope you caught that trivia question at the beginning of this video. No, it's not for me. It was actually a question we talked about here in the shop. And get some of these other bumps here. And go right up to the edge. Let me just put a spray of alcohol. Now, the alcohol is going to actually soften the paint, but I'm just going to wipe over it one time. You know, that might even be kind of neat because as I sand it off the surface, now it's showing the color underneath. It kind of looks like spots in these fly trails. That's interesting. Anyways, I'm still going to sand some more here. This part of art videos is really boring for a lot of people. I guess you got to appreciate arts and crafts and actually be doing them yourself in order to hang in there for stuff like this. You know, that's about it. That's the way it goes. So that's why I don't really expect big audiences, because you have to be kind of like doing this kind of art in order to really actually stay with the video. Or actually kind of understand what this is about, you know. Otherwise, it's just really not anyone's interest. And that's okay. You know, there's a few people who are looking for material like this, and I know it's not the everyday norm. That's why I don't expect a turnout, you know. You really won't see many flaws in the Dragonfly itself by the time I'm done because I have a lot of detail to add. All right. Now there's a lot of bumps. Actually, almost done here. You know, it's really not unusual to paint something, sand it, and paint it again. I actually do that a lot when I prime these canvases. It smooths them down. So, you know, why should I even really call it rework? Because it's a common thing to do to sand down, paint, or paint, sand down, and paint again. I'll be right back. Break time already. Okay. I just need to sand down here on this wing a little bit more. Right down in this area here, it's still kind of thick and rough. So I'm going to get a paper towel and just wipe the dust off where my arm's going to go across the painting. Just sprayed a little bit of alcohol on here. I've got a bottle of alcohol. And I just wipe that off and see how the sanding went. Now, if I leave this alcohol on here, I turned it and started. Now I'm using the dry side. If I would leave that alcohol on here, it would actually loosen up pretty much of the paint and make it mushy. And we don't want to do that. So it's just one quick swipe over it and then turn my paper towel and wipe it with the dry. So, it does feel a lot smoother. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to give my paper towel another spray. And to move this thing here and wipe this just to get all the dust off. Now, I think I still need to sand a little bit right here. These dips in there were kind of deep. I need to sand over here just a little bit more. And there's a place on this wing that I'm not happy with. I don't want to sand on top of them if they feel tacky from the alcohol. Feels pretty good. So just going to brush my little piece of sandpaper off. A lot of times on your sandpaper, you'll get some big chunks of paint. Oh, you can't see them on the cam. But basically what they'll do is gum up when you're sanding your paint. So I keep a old toothbrush and I just brush off my sandpaper. See? And I'll do that when I'm sanding with different colors, so I don't mix the colors a lot, because that could make it look muddy. Okay, let's go. This where where my wrist is comfortable. I'm just going to get a different side of the sandpaper here. Hold it. Fresh side. They always say, a good artist really shouldn't have to do rework. But remember, I'm not a good artist. And this was an experiment. I just didn't like the way the paint reacted. So, good thing about it is we can always take it off. A lot of people do that. I guess it's the OCD in me to be liking things be perfect. I don't like this little flash in the pan. Get the job done. You know, and I'm not that way. Sometimes I work on paintings for a year. Yeah, that is pretty much gone. Yeah, this is a pretty big ridge right here. You'll hear some other noise going on here in the shop. Sorry about that. We've got other projects and workers and things going on here. This is a studio. And we're always doing something wrong, you know? All right. Yeah, I got a little ways to go on that yet. I still feel the ridge, which is okay. That's okay. Because we're just going to paint on top of it anyways. Yepper. And we're not going to see all of this under the wings by the time I'm done. There's going to be a lot of detail. I'm just going to sand it down a little bit right here. And over here. And then wipe it off and see how it feels. Got a little bit more to do here too. I guess a little bit over here too, in between the wings. All right, let's get a paper towel and a spritz of alcohol. Wipe the dust away and see how we're doing. I know these videos are not exciting for a lot of people who like a little bit more adventure, but my goal is to show you how time consuming some of this stuff can be. And when you want to get things right, it involves time and patience. But by the time you're done, it's time that is well rewarded. That's pretty smooth now. This one here is just a kind of a thick ridge, but that's okay. I think I'm going to work with that instead of against it. All right. So I'm going to start repainting with this the chemtrails. Yeah, well, the dragonfly trails. I met the man. Thanks for joining me. It's not looking good yet. I just sanded a lot of that off. Um, this powder can get on the rest of the painting. I have to wipe this off before it dries. Alcohol takes off a lot of these marks. So that's from the dust. When it mixed with the alcohol, it became a paste. That's the thing with our acrylic, it just, when you put alcohol on it, it softens it. And now I have like a gum on my hands. I'm going to have to go wash my hands. I guess we're okay. I got it off with alcohol. Let me just get a swallow of water here. Okay. So, I painted with a white pearl where I mixed pearlescent medium with and a little bit of Liquitex Basic Iridescent Paint. And the powder pigments that I used were Julescent Interference Gold. Very transparent look. And I'm going to switch that up a little bit today. Just, the colors that I used were, let me just bring those in here. The colors that I used on the fly trail were turquoise, just go see, green pyromorphite, a nice rosy pink, and gold labradite. I think I'm going to use very little gold labradite, and it's going to take some time to mix all these. I have not stirred them yet. And the problem was with these thick ridges, it seemed like there was some pigment powders in there that were not mixed up right. They weren't mixed all the way. So I'm going to just grab a little stirrer here and just recheck these paints. I've got one that's going to get in the crease of the cup where pigments might be trapped there. You're going to hear some other noise here um, in the shop. We've got some other projects going on. Alrighty. Now, truthfully, I don't know what I'm really going to do with these paints because I don't like the way they paint on the project. I've already had to sand it off a little bit once. I mean, really, how much am I willing to work with something I wasn't successful with at first? So I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to do something a little bit differently. I'm going to take and just kind of set these pigments aside. And I might come back to them later. And I have to get something to cover those. Bear with me a second. So I thought I'd actually kind of try something else. I don't know if this will work or not. And maybe I'd like places in these streaks to be just a little bit darker. I might even add some black. So I'm going to take the pigments themselves and I'm going to apply them directly onto this board and paint them in just to see what's going to happen. Actually, I'm not going to do purple. I'm going to do the turquoise blue. Like I said, this is all an experiment. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never painted like this. I mean, this is a new kind of painting to me. Paint pouring and embellishing your pour. But I tried to use different paints and different mediums that I wasn't familiar with. And I'm just looking for a brush to use at these. Here's a scruffy brush. This is an old scruffy brush. Sometimes these old brushes are my favorite. I'm just going to dip into the package here and pull a little bit out. There's just a little bit on. And let's see what it does. We got a spot here to cover up. Let's just see what this does right on top. And I can see it doesn't cover anything. It's really adding a lot more shimmer. I like that. Let's just keep going and see what we come up with. I don't claim to be perfect and know everything, you know. That's why I'm experimenting. Well, it certainly added a shimmer. darkened it in a little bit. I do have to go over it with something though, otherwise um, it's gonna get a little noisy over here. I do have to paint it in with something harder though, otherwise it'll just blow off like dust. Dust in the wind. Is that all we are? All right. I'm just going to take a round brush. Let's see. This is a round brush number 1. It's got a nice peak on it. I like this brush. These are Montmartre brushes. I don't endorse any companies that I use their product. Just to say that. Just going to paint on top of this dark mark here to try and lighten it in a little. Just going to use some small little strokes while I'm doing this because I don't want glops. Last time I just kind of poured it on there and we're not going to do it that way this time. So you just go in streaks here. If I don't say anything, that means I'm concentrating. I want to put my hand in the paint. All right. Just another streak there. I'm kind of limited on time today. I probably still won't get this painting done. Like I said, some of these paintings I can be working on for a whole year. Just don't want to get my hand in the wet paint. I hate when I reach over a wet painting. Just straightening out these edges. Remember last time I did this painting, I was a little shaky. I think I drank too much coffee that morning. Right. See, things like that can always be fixed. lot of detail I want to add to these dragonflies yet. I like dragonflies. I've been noticing a lot around my place. To reach over your painting, sometimes put your little finger down. You know, if it feels awkward to you, just put your little finger down and rest your hand on that little finger, or even this finger, you know, your ring finger, and then paint with your index and thumb. And it's a little bit awkward at first, but once you get used to it, it works real good. You know, it's just something to practice. All right. Pop down here. Alrighty, I'm going to put that away for a while. Let me wipe off my brush. I never let my brushes soak in water. I always just rinse them off in water and wipe them right away. Well, there's like all different kinds of artists. There's like music artists, um, art, just anything creative. I mean, you can even be a videographer, and that's an artist. Even a surgeon can be an artist when they're doing surgery, you know? It's knowing the art of what you're doing and doing it well. I'm going to take just a 5-minute break. I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to go talk to some people here in the shop just for a second. Sorry about the interruption, but I will be right back. Hang in there. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about the interruption. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be working with some more pigments, and I have to wear a mask while I'm doing this. I don't mind. Just a paper mask. And I'm not going to put my respirator on for this. Just a paper mask will do. We're all used to wearing them. And what I'm going to do, these pigments fly all over the place. And what I'm going to do now is put some pigments in this little cup. These are My Spring Purple Amethyst. And I'm going to fill in the wings with these. And UV resin. I'm going to put it in a cup and mix it. These fine powders are not healthy to breathe, so I don't mind wearing a mask to protect myself. And I'm just going to put a little bit of pigment in here in this cup. But they're so fine, they fly out all over the place. close up my package. And I'm going to take an old paintbrush, or a cheap one rather, both old and cheap. And I'm going to paint some of this UV resin on here. And I've still got my mask on. I'll have my mask on until I've got this mixed. So I'm going to pour some UV resin in here. This will dry hard if you leave it in the sun for a few minutes, but I'm going to hit it with a UV light. And when I hit it with the UV light, I need to put my glasses on to protect my eyes from the UV rays. Oh, it's really coming out of this bottle slower than molasses in January. I'm going to be kind of heavy on the heavy side of pigment powders, and that actually causes the resin to be brittle when it's dry, but it won't matter because it's going to be flat on a board. It's not something that is stationary. I mean, is out in the air. I mean, like sitting like a knickknack or a lamp or a bowl or anything else made out of resin, a piece of jewelry even. And I'm going to set my bottle way to the side because I'm going to be hitting this with the UV flashlight, and it will harden it. Let me just look for something to stir with. So we're going to mix this up in the cup. I don't think I have enough UV resin for these pigments, but what we're going to have first is a real thick paste. And I want to get all of those pigments mixed in and incorporated this time. I'm going to have to add a little bit more of the UV resin. I think I'm just going to take the big cap off and get a good gulp of it in there. Like that. Sit. And my resin, the pigments are well incorporated with the liquid, so I can take my mask off now. Good morning to everyone in chat. I just looked up and seen everybody. Thanks for joining me, Menthol Man, Glass, Trinot, cool name, and Kimberly. Good morning, everybody. I started out by sanding the high spots off. There were some bumps, and now I'm just going over it with some more paint and UV resin. I don't think I'll get it done today. Oh, this is going to be like really pretty. Very pretty. I'm going to kind of do this wing. I'm going to do the wings in purple. And this, UV resin was expensive. So I'm going to try and wipe off what was on the handle that I stirred this with. This isn't going to dry until it hits the sun or my UV light hits it. But I've got an old brush. I had a trivia question at the beginning. um, for an old bag of bud that had been sitting for months, like almost a year. The question was, is it safe? Is it weaker? Is it still safe to, you know, you know? So that's the trivia question for this. I was asking for a friend, by the way. You're going to be hearing some other noises from my shop. I've got some other projects going on today, and there's other guys working here. Are actually going to be dealing with a lot of construction lately. We're going to tear our chimney down that got hit by lightning. I talked with my insurance adjuster with that, and that's how we would like to handle it. It's kind of a blessing that it got hit, because we were not using it, and it was a double chimney, and it was really taking up a lot of room, a lot of space in the rooms. So yeah, it would be nice to have that open space. Now, this is not paint. This is UV resin I'm working with. And I'm just using an old, cheap paintbrush. Like, I don't know, I got them like 10 years ago. You know, one of those dollar bags that have like 12 brushes. That's what I'm using. I could probably wash this UV resin out with alcohol if I wanted to save it, as long as the light don't hit it. If the light hits it, she's done. So I have to remember to take the brush out, take my little cup of resin out. It's thick. I'm going to go over the top of this with green, just in spots. Let's see. Just gotta have to go a little bit darker over here. Around the edge. Through here. I'd have to concentrate now, you guys. morning, everybody in the chat. Hi, yo, mama. Hope you're having a blessed day. I'm doing an experiment here. I just got some good news. The other project that's going on worked. It's a car project. I just got a thumbs up from the official boss. It worked. I'm just going to go through these one more time. And I'm going to shut up while I'm doing it. I'm just going to darken in this ridge right here a little bit more. And I think I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Now these brushes I'm not going to put in the water because I'm still using the UV resin that's on here. Sorry, I wasn't in the camera. So I'm just going to set this one aside. And I'm going to use a little tiny liner, and I don't even know what number this is. These brushes are pretty old. It was some type of cheap liner. And all I want to do is just darken in the outline of this wing here. Right here, where it appears to be a little bit lighter. This is not dry, this is wet. Remember, I'm working with resin, and it won't be dry until I hit it with the light. And you're going to hear my dogs bark. I'm going to have to mute. Oh my, we're barky when we get a package delivery. They're just doing their job. All right, so we're line right there. Excuse me. I'm going to hit this with the light now. Alrighty. I have to get all of the paintbrushes and this little cup of resin out of the way when I hit this with a light, and I have to put my safety glasses on to protect my eyes. And I'm just going to hit this with the light for a couple minutes. Now this will be permanent once I do this. You know, I probably could get it off if I wanted to, but that's going to take work to get resin off of this board. So we got to do it right the first time. Okay, here we go. I've got my safety glasses ready here. Show you them. And they're just colored lens like that. And here we go. Now this only takes a couple of minutes, and you can even set this in the sun to dry, and it just takes a couple minutes. Yeah, I got a UPS delivery on a Saturday. I'm trying to apply to be a ship drop off in my area because there's so few of them. Oh, sorry, I was muted when my dog barked. Dogs, because UPS came. And you know, they gotta bark at the UPS man. Kind of excited to go over and open up those packages. Maybe I can do a review during this video too. All right, now this should be dry, right? I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute. You can still see some of the shimmer through it. But now I'm gonna go on top of this with the green and put some green detail in there, and then I'm gonna go back on top of it with purple. By the time I'm done, I should have some dimension going on here, so you get an idea what I'm doing. I'm gonna be right back. I can't help myself. It's an obsession. I have to go and see what delivery this was today. So I will be right back. I'm really sorry, but that those packages are going to bother me until I know what came in today. It's very important to know because I have a business here. I'm trying to uh, take care of everything, and I'm in charge of ordering supplies. So I will be right back. I'm going to mute my mic. Hang in there. Hey, you got that right. Crazy artist on break. That's true. No, I had to go and check what came in from UPS because I've been waiting for parts or stuff, and yes, it's here. And otherwise, I could not be able to paint and have those packages sitting over there calling me, bothering me, telling me, you got to come see what came in today. Got to come and check these packages. The parts you needed are here. I just couldn't stand it. I had to go on break and figure that out. So, when you're running a business and you're waiting, you got a custom order and you're waiting for parts. You know what that's like? And then you're stuck behind a painting and there's UPS and the dogs are barking and comes in and he sets those packages down there right there, and I know they're like 10 feet away from me, and I gotta see what's in them. So this is hard, tacky. It's a little tacky. I'm gonna hit it longer with the light. I'm working with UV resin. Does anybody know the answer to my trivia question? Is a little bud safe after it's been stored in the Ziploc bag for a year? Would you fire it up or would you just throw it out? I always heard that there's a risk of mold. So it's like I didn't know what to tell him. I was asked that this morning. That's why I said I'm asking for a friend. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say, sure, it's safe, and then have them wind up in the hospital from cryptosporidium or sporidium or whatever that thing is that mold gives you. I don't know. I should look it up. But, anyways, I probably myself would have fired it up. All right, let's see. It'll get hard. It'll be fine. So that's kind of permanent now, that one wing. And we won't get the other wing exactly like this wing. Nah, burn, baby, burn. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? So I gotta paint that other wing now, don't I? What if I don't feel like it because I got these packages now? So yeah, when you use this resin, you have to move it all out of the way when you start turning on that light. I guess a lot of nail salons use that kind of light too. I was thinking about getting a kit and doing my nails. Do you see those real peaky cone like nails they got now? You just you form your own nail with a paste. Boy, times have changed. Times have changed. That's why I never wore nail polish, because even if I put a base coat on to protect my nails, um, nail polish and then taking it off with the remover always made my nails brittle. And I didn't like that because they started breaking off. They were, ugh. So that's why I don't use any of that stuff, but I'm curious to see if the products today um, are any better. So you have about 50 geese chilling up. Cool. That's so cool. I'm not going to put a pond on my property. Nope, nope, nope. Welcome back, Fluent. If I put a pond on my property, um, government overreach is going to happen. They're going to tag my land as wetlands. And when you have wetlands, you can't have a homestead. You can't use your property the way you want to use your property. If you have a pond and there are birds visiting your pond, they will take over your property and tell you what to do. And I'm just not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. I love this time of year too. I should go down and get some footage. Actually, several times as the season comes to a peak, and um, just take videos and put them all together in one video as the seasons change. The view changes. I should do that. There's a question here. So you say that's UV paint? Do I hear you right? Yes, you do. It's a resin, and it's actually not a paint. It's a resin, but I can use it for paint. I use it to paint on top of other resin projects. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to coat it with um, some resin. And I kind of want to have some dimension to it. So this is going to be built up. It's going to be dimensional. Dogs. It's a false alarm. I really I could use diamond glaze for this too. This is a dimensional adhesive, and I could have mixed it with the pigments. See, I'm using dry pigments mixed with it, and this is a real fine powder. And I could mix diamond glaze with the pigments and wait for it to dry. I would be waiting a while, a good few hours. Where if I mix it with UV resin, I mix these two together in a little cup. Right here's my little cup. And it's going to stay fluid. It'll stay fluid for days or until I hit it with the light or I put it out in natural sunlight. Natural sunlight will cure the UV resin in just a couple minutes too. So you can go outside and you could even bring your project and set it outside. I invested in the light. This light set me back 50 some bucks. This was one of the better lights that I've seen. And these are actually, believe it or not, to spot check for blood and urine. They're used in forensics. So, yeah, I've got the UV Beast, it's called. It's got a couple big batteries. It comes with a charger. So yeah, this is dry. See, this is dry now, and um, it's permanent. I can paint on top of this, which I'm going to paint on top of it anyways. So that's what I chose to do to get dimension. I want dimension with my painting. So, and I want the dragonfly to stand out from these trails. I'm still going to be working on these trails here and there. I think I'm going to add some black streaks in them. I have a little few places that I need to touch up on them. I got to straighten this edge over here. So, is that right? Do you have a website? I'm wondering if you have like a store, because I like to work with stained glass and mosaic work, like mosaic tile, grout. Um, I like to make tabletops. I like to cut china. I'm into what's it called? Picassari. It's called Picassari. Mosaic work. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's called Picassari for some reason. But yeah, love it, love it. I just love all kinds of art, and I'm gonna get back to my painting now and try and get that other wing done. And I might hang it up because I've been here for an hour and a half already, and I'm going to get a lot of this done offline. I just wanted to do a little bit of it online to show you guys the process of this and what mixing these pigments with paint medium look like. And that's what this is. This is paint medium, and I didn't like it. It seemed gloppy, like there were lumps, and it wasn't nice and smooth. So I sanded it a little bit. I got the high points off, and so we learned something from these two mixtures. Okay, gotta find my brush. I'm gonna use a larger brush to spread it around good. When I do art, I just like to always think outside the box. I don't always like to be traditional. Sometimes I paint without using paintbrushes. I like to try and paint with all different kinds of odd things like chain, string, balloons. And you'll see a lot of that on YouTube. A lot of artists are doing the paint pours with different objects like that. I think that's really cool. I mean, why does everything have to be traditional? You want to know the best, absolutely best artistry tool? It's a good old graphite pencil and a shader. You can do a lot with them. I mean, just to doodle. I like Zen Doodle. I like all that stuff. Zen Doodle's fun. Okay, I'm going to try and get an edge line here. Guess it'd help if I get in the camera, eh? Sorry. Oh, that sounds like a really good. That sounds like a really good experiment to do. Fluent etching. I like that. Okay, I'm just gonna come in with a little liner. Try and darken it in a little bit on this side. I'm using dollar store junk paint brushes with the resin. I just want to get the edge lines defined a little bit more. If you're looking to maybe pick up a new customer, you can email me your store at badbaddivas@gmail.com. That's divas with an S, plural. Bad, bad divas. They were not really bad. Sometimes it's fun to be bad. Ain't it now? Alright, I just want to come in here, right here. Just try and get a line. Nice and straight. There we go. Just continue with this down here. Yeah. There we go. Even them out a little bit. Darken this up here, and then I'm just going to hit it with the light very soon. It's kind of hard to spread out sometimes, especially with a little tiny brush. Get a little spot up here too. Excuse me. Up here. Guess I should wear my respirator while I'm hitting this with the, because this is quite a large area of resin. So I think I will resort to putting my respirator on. Otherwise, resin can make you sick. You see that one tip? I don't know. There's a little spot up in there. Right, is that right here that I'm seeing it? Oh, I think it's just the light. Right here. It's right there. So I'm going to have to hit over here again with the light. Just wanted to cover up that light spot. Okay, I'm going to put my brushes aside. And I'm going to come in with the light. I can always put another coat on top of it if I'm not happy with it. All right, I'm going to suit up. I'm going to put my UV glasses on. Got them right here. They've got a yellow tint. And I have got a respirator. Let me show that to you. I'm going to muzzle up, you guys. Got my respirator. So hold on a minute. Gotta get it on tight. Wait a minute. I gotta fix something. I'm not ready yet. Let me take the muzzle off. I see. Yeah, I want to even out those wings just a little bit. I'm gonna come in here with this bigger brush. This one just needs a little bit rounder top. You know, it could be the direction the dragonfly is flying and all that. You know, that's fine. But um, this one I want it underneath the other one anyway. So I'm gonna put the other one's gonna be a little bit bigger. This one's the small one. But I want to just go like this. And get up there. Just to make it a little bit bigger. A little bit more in there. Just go down the other side too. Okay. I never did ceramics, but I've done sculpting with clay, different kinds of clay. I used to have a pottery wheel. Um, I've got an airbrush and a compressor. I've helped my husband do auto body. That was actually when we were dating. Hold on. Sometimes I have to hold my breath when I make. I don't know if any other painter does that. You know, you just want to get something real nice and perfect and straight. You hold your breath while you do it. Well, I do that all the time. But when my husband and I were dating, we um did auto body hobbies together, and that's when um I showed him I could paint, and I think that he only married me because I could airbrush. I could airbrush better than he could. So let's see. So my husband and I have been doing hobbies together ever since. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Like right now, I'm going to put green in here. So green's gonna cover up a lot of the lighter areas too. So let's hit it with the light. Let me get suited up again. Put my muzzle on. and put my glasses on. Well, the cost the cost of materials and supplies went up drastically, and it's very hard to make a profit with art nowadays. You kind of have to go with demand. What's the trendy things? What are people going for? And what can they use it for? Just art to hang on the wall? Unless you're a famous artist, it's worthless. It really is. But if it's like a window or a piece of furniture, then it's a little more valuable. So if you're going to do art, I would say practice and actually go big, because you're going to be the starving artist. I used to make signs too. I still do. I make business signs and all kinds of stuff, and I do pretty good. I make pretty good money at it. But this kind of stuff, this kind of art on a canvas, not as much. Usually, I'll just get a piece done, and someone in my family says, "I just got to have that," and it just I give it away. I don't sell a lot of this, but my husband and I have done a lot of custom work in the 40 years that we've been together. Just got to take my muzzle off. All right. So that should be set up now. It will look wet because it's glossy. It will look wet. But now I'm going to go on top of this with green. I don't think I'm going to get to it in this video. I've been at this for 2 hours already. And sitting here this long, I just have to get up and move around. That's one thing about art. That's why I say some projects take me a year. And it just depends the extensive work that's involved with them. Anyways, I'm going to hang it up for right now and come back maybe later, maybe tomorrow, and work on it some more. Everyone that joined me today, I appreciate your company. I enjoy having you in my chat. Thanks for joining me. You're really appreciated. Give me a thumbs up and share my work if you know that anyone will be interested. I'm going to probably work a little bit of this offline, and when I come back, you'll see how far I progressed and what we have to do next. But I'd like to follow through with this project all the way to the end. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed and be loved.